Yes. So, like you said, you have been in Hosur for more than a year. Yeah. So, what do you think the changes that you have seen, and are they good or bad? The changes that you have noticed or observed.
I have noticed some good changes. For example, I've seen a lot of people starting up small companies here, or you can say small shops, so that they don't have to go all the way to Bangalore for every kind of thing. I have observed even when I go to the market, I've seen how they want to source, they try to source everything from here or locally or from Krishnagiri or Dharmapuri, which is a good thing. So, but I still see that there is a lot of dependency on Bangalore, and this was noticed during the recent clashes between
Kaveri dispute.
during the Kaveri dispute.
Right. Okay. Auntie, can you also tell me something about organic farming, because I know that you're doing that for the past few months or years. So.
Okay. So what would you like to know in organic?
I would like to know of its benefits and how it is better than our modern methods of farming, and is it traditional and all those sort of.
Organic farming goes way back, or in fact the natural way of farming goes way back into the Vedas.
Okay.
So we were told actually farming or growing things, it is not a business. It is something that you have to do it for you, your community. It is as good as a very beautiful and involving kind of a activity where it is actually very therapeutic.
Right.
So you grow in such a way what you need, and it is not to be grown on mass production.
Right.
Because what happens is it also works on the ecosystem. See, many people have problems like pests.
Right.
But if the pest is easily able to jump from one plant to the other, whichever it is available, if it is a single crop, it is easily able to multiply. But if you are able to grow all kinds of crops within a square foot, suppose you're able to grow at least 3 varieties of plants, 3 or 4 varieties of plants, you don't have reproduction of the pest.
Like mixed cropping.
Yes, it has to be mixed cropping. It cannot be a single crop. In fact, I still remember my great-grandfathers and all, in their farms they had a lot of fruit plants, they had everything that would sustain for the house. They never actually bought any lentils from outside.
Okay.
They never bought any fruits from outside.
Right.
Whatever grew seasonally was obtained from their own farm. Well, as they did grow their own rice, they did grow whatever surplus was there was what they sold. Farmers were not consumers.
Right.
Farmers were only producers, which has changed and which has caused a lot of pain and a lot of trouble to people. So because of inorganic growing, the minute you think that I want to grow a certain kind of food and you want to dump it into the market, rates fall down. So that is not the way to live. You have to first start looking at just living and search. You're looking for your community around, how you can just sustain with them. So you grow for yourself, and if you're able to distribute whatever surplus, that itself will allow you to grow in a better format.
Right. Okay. Okay, Auntie, I really like the point where you spoke about that farmers were producers and not consumers, and now it has really changed. I really love that point. I have one last question to ask. Are we really coming up with proper solutions for problems that we are facing? Like a development that will be sustainable, something like that. So I also want you to tell me something
If
about
a development has to be sustainable, it has to be given time.
Right.
What we are noticing, especially with the GM crops, people don't even understand what they mean by GM.
Right.
Genetically modified vegetables are being done because they think that vegetables are not enough. Actually, even if we allow pests to eat, what is wrong in that? They also need their food. For example, I've heard of genetically modified brinjals, but if you notice in the market, anywhere you go, brinjals just are there in surplus. Then why do you need to genetically modify it? And okay, if you are working on genetically modifying it, complete the cycle completely. You're doing a genetic modification so that the pests, it becomes more pest resistant. But then you are doing only half of it. The minute you know that it's pest resistant, you're giving it up and saying, putting it into the market in a quick way that I'm going to make money out of it. And because it's pest resistant.
Right.
But that is not the solution. You go to the end of it, work more on it, work 10 years more or 15 years more to actually understand what happens. You grow it in contained format, you work on it.
Right. So you're trying to tell us that we have to give it some time and see